welcome to another episode of the Sunday Show with Snicko and Johnboy. Today we have a plus one. We have my good friend Maimai joining us on the couch to talk all things women in league this round. Firstly, Maimai, welcome. It's good to have our first guest.
Thank you, Johnboy. Good friend. That's certainly one way to summarise our relationship.
Well,
thank you for having me on the couch this
besties
week.
For the resties, I say. But obviously we've got a big round. We've got an important round, a special first themed round in the SRL that I can remember for a few seasons at least. It's Women in League. And we thought no one better to have than the woman in league, Maimai herself. Tell us a bit about your early career.
Well, yeah, it's actually a very fitting week to have this round, actually, because it does mark my 2 years of involvement with the SRL. I've got a little bit of a story, actually, for the viewers, which you might not like, Johnboy, but I'm going to tell it anyway. And that was very early into us going out, and he drops I'm vice captain of the Canterbury Bulldogs. He didn't preface that it was a simulation league, but nonetheless, he got me to join in and been a part of it ever since.
Yeah, no, it's actually, for everyone listening at home, that was like, she said it was like one of the most amazing things she'd ever heard, and she was just enraptured with me ever since. Oh, you can't use the soundboard this early.
Well, that was me.
But I suppose now we've got a few questions about Women in League. You know, with our first themed round, it's I think a bit different for the SRL. So just if you guys give us a few pointers about it, Maimai. What does Women League round? What is it about?
Yeah, it's just about celebrating the growing community of women within the SRL. I wasn't the first, but since I've joined, I've just seen the numbers grow massively, and it's really cool to see we've now got women in leadership roles, like with Hannah Hitchens as the vice captain of the Penrith Panthers, and then Otis Keane as well, doing some incredible work behind the scenes, which you might not see, but helping Monkey with all of the recording and making sure the games are going out every week. So it's really just about celebrating the women inside of the league, but also those outside of the league as well. And yeah.
Thank you. Also, I suppose Otis Keane of Spotify fame, surely that mixtape she dropped in PMC was absurd. That had no reason to go as hard as it did. We'll talk more about that Sharks game sometimes later too. But now that we've got a rough idea what we're celebrating, are there any plans for Women League? Like, what's SRL got up its sleeve for the upcoming round?
Well, you might have seen that AMAC and the bank have cooked up some women-themed SRL bets this week. I think there's some very, very good ones in there. I think bet 3 especially, I believe it's 504 metres combined for all the female-controlled players to represent the fact that women make up 50.4% of the total population, which is a nice tidbit that AMAC found.
Such a nerd.
But it's very, very cool for our match in particular, going up against the Penrith Panthers. It'll be the most women ever fielded in a SRL game, including 2 female vice captains.
It's actually very interesting because Nathan Macquarie's actually going to run for all 500 metres against the Raiders. But with that in mind, Maimai, you're often a source of wisdom. Well, sometimes anyway. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with before we transition into our 6 agains?
I think I'm always the fountain of wisdom for you, Johnboy.
That's absurd, yeah.
No, I think just this week is about celebrating the women involved in the SRL, but then also think about the women in your lives in general. Hint, hint.
I celebrate you every week.
Taking them out for nice dinners. No. But yeah. It's very nice to celebrate this week as well, and sort of to emulate what they're doing in the NRL as well. Very cool to see the community growing.
No, absolutely. I suppose it's been one of the coolest things in the SRL, seeing the growth in leadership roles as well. When I first joined, we had no women in leadership, and now we've got a bunch hanging around, even like recording teams and all that. So it's been really good to see. Thank you for joining us for the interview, Maimai. I'm sure you're going to be chiming in heaps for my preview segment after the Greek Freak of the Week. But for now, Snicko returns to come chat some more. Not that that's ever stopped in the past. It's time for us.
Yeah, it does. Let's go.
Snicko, how have we been, brother? How was your week?
Yeah, good. Very good. Always enjoyable. In the life of Sticko, bro. This week, no exception.
we'll get back to your game shortly in the segment. But for now, it's time for the 6 agains, and I think I'll be kicking us off.
10 meters.
The Raiders are mud. All right, I don't believe in it. I don't see it. And I think on Monday there's going to be a drastic reality check when they play a top 4 quality team. I have no fear. I know James Godwin listens, but I can write this down. I can put this in their notebook. This only ends one way on Monday, and it's going to be Sharks 19+. No objection, Snicko.
Not happy to put that one down. Next, well, maybe they might not get 30 more tackles than you guys and not score any tries like they did against us, but I digress. I'm going to talk about the salary cap and more specifically the Storm. I think that what we've seen this season has been the Storm. They got carried a bit by having 84 platinums last season. Now they've come back down to the pack. It's time for Captain Jack White to step up and show us that he's got what it takes, because anyone can win Mickey Mouse season 1, but making the finals in season 2 is where your bread's buttered.
Well, I'm not going to ring the bell for that, because I said in my rankings that you should also go read that I'm just a bit unsure where the Storm stand. They aren't the projections I thought were them as title contenders again, but I don't quite see it anymore, to be honest. But my second 6 again is going to be about K-Dot, Kevin Dixon, the Iceman himself, who has been single-handedly dragging the Bunnies and the Finn Manning project to either close to wins or wins. He deserves an Origin selection. I genuinely think he may be one of... I think he's a Queensland rep.
He is, yep.
But with Justin Plays transitioning to wing fullback, I'd have him down as potentially my first name at edge. I don't know the depth of the Queensland edges that well, but I'd say he's at least still 12.
I think last season it was Ant-Man and Plays from memory, but I would have to go back and check that.
I don't maybe Lenny Phillips puts his hand up, but it's dubious. What's your second 6?
No, quality player Kevin Dixon. My second 6 again is the Dogs. I think they're legit. I think you have them in the bottom 4 of your power rankings is a bit of a piss take. And I just thought I'd get out in front of it and say, I don't think they're bottom 4. I think they're top 4. They're winning games consistently. And I think that they've beaten some good opposition, which is more than you can say about some other teams in the top 8. Sharks.
The Sharks be in fantastic opposition. We beat the top 4 destined to win a premiership Tigers this week. Or last week, I suppose. In a fairly convincing fashion. They had an incredible proclivity to passing the ball backward, either dead in goal or into the goalpost. So, we're getting up there. But it's funny. It's funny I mentioned the Tigers, actually, because my last 6 against the Tigers are actually quite good. I think the Tigers do have a bit about them. I was maybe out of emotion saying that they weren't top 8 quality, top 4 quality. I think that the plus 19 gifts are annoying, yes, but there's some genuine quality. Their edges are elite. They've got one of the best second row units in the league. And once Jeff King finds a way to balance out his bench, I think they could be on to win it. Do I think they win it this year? No, but they'll come close. They'll be in the conversation.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting take, considering that that you just beat these guys and now you're talking about how good they were. But maybe I'm reading too much into the psyche of Johnboy, which is a dangerous place for anyone. My last 6 again is all about the Warriors, and more importantly, how did they lose to the Rabbitohs? I'm not sure I can claim the Warriors as a top team anymore. We've been talking about them
3 words. The Finn Manning project.
Back in your box, thank you. I wasn't finished. We've been talking about the Warriors as a bastion of everything right. Damian Moana upgrading the right things, all their players on board. Jalen Saltner, line breaks for fun, and then they lose to a team that hasn't won since round 1. Riddle me that, John Boy. Riddle me that.
How much of the game did you watch much of the game? Because Damian Moana missed
the last 5 minutes.
Damian Moana missed a conversion from in front of the posts to halfway through the game.
Less said about that, the better. They lost by 2 points, yeah?
Yeah, they did. They lost by 1 point.
Oh dear.
So
I see the issue.
Make of that what you will. But ladies and gentlemen, with the 6 again's done, it's time for a favourite blast from the past. It's time to reflect, look back upon history, and gaze through the eyes of a true scholar. It's time for Snicko's Greek Freak of the Week.
Those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it.
Maimai, I often ask Johnboy if he's heard of my myth, but this time I'm going to ask you. Have you heard of the man the Greeks called Oedipus?
I have indeed. Yes.
Tell me his story.
Is he the one who had the spikes driven through his feet and then thrown in a river as a child, or is that the wrong?
I think you've got the wrong guy. John Boy, are you familiar with Oedipus?
I'm
I
pretty.
just know the more NSFW things.
Yeah,
about Oedipus.
I'm familiar with this complex, but
Yeah.
but you may need to expand upon it for a little bit for the viewers at home.
I will talk briefly. So Oedipus, a Greek mythological figure, unknowingly fights and kills his own father, and we're going to stop the story right there because that's all we need to talk about. And my Oedipus of the SRL is actually Chris Weston at the Titans last season. Some would say he was like a son to their captain Max Topoke. I've heard that around the league. And he returned this week to the scene of the crime. Eels versus the Titans, and he slot a field goal to beat them by 1 point. Was it in extra time, John Boy?
It wasn't extra time actually. Yeah, towards the end of Golden Point 1.
Just like Oedipus, Chris Weston was just about fated to slay his own team, and for that reason, and for no others, thank you very much.
Nice, man. You're really.
Weston is my Greek freak of the week.
He's the freak of the week. Man, I'm really glad you didn't elaborate on the second half of Oedipus's story, eh? But with that all said and done, it's time that we move into our weekly preview where we have a look at the games to come. And Maimai, please feel free to chime in. I normally I'll ask Snicko what game he's looking forward to, so I'll ask you the same question as well, along with Snicko. But I'll preview the games first. And the Monday night has the Sharks taking on the West Sharks 19+. James Golden, believe you me, the Monday after we beat you is not going to be a fun day for you at all. The Knights take on the Powers in the second game of that Monday night slot. Dude, the Knights have cost me so much money this season. It's ridiculous. But they do play...
Bonkers.
Bonkers? What do you mean bonkers?
What's the definition of insanity, John Boy? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
That's true. But I believe in Newcastle, the Pars have been struggling. The Pars are also down to platinum, so one would assume that you can't lose to them. They've been struggling. Their players are in chat saying they're wondering how they're not struggling more. So I'm going to go Knights 1918. Logan Seymour.
19+.
If they do the same thing with Logan.
Oce's Keen is going to score a hat-trick. The women in league round.
Hush you, back to your box. Newcastle,
Whoa.
if they do this... Logan Seymour, me and Snicko com that game with Will. Logan Seymour tore the Dogs to pieces. So if they have the same strat where they have him off the bench in second row, I think he's going to rip the Panthers to shreds. I think they'll go 9-18. Dolphins against the Dolphins, bro. The Dolphins 9-18. Justin Play's men need to be tested for some sort of performance enhancing drugs. They smoked the Storm. It wasn't the closest the Storm got was the initial kickoff. But Justin Place hasn't playing really well. Could you see them being minor premiers, Snicko?
I think the Raiders are 2 points clear at the top with a bye to come, so it'll be hard to rein them in.
Yeah.
As I've said, they've been big favourites for minor premiers the whole season. And so wouldn't be shocked if they go the whole way.
So the first game on Tuesday, we had the Eels taking the Cowboys. As much as I malign the Cowboys, I just think they've got a bit too much for the Eels. The Eels choked an 18-0 lead to have to go to Golden Point against Titans, so I want to go Dogs 1-8. Reece Davis to probably score a game-clinching try late. Titans over I think the schedule's got a repeat there. I see. Right. So it's the Dolphins against the Eels then. Must be on the Monday night. There's a few things going on there. We'll get back to that. But the Tigers take on the Wires on the Wednesday morning game. First slot on Wednesday game. I'm going to go Wires 9-18. They don't tend to lose twice in a row. And if they do, there's going to be some serious questions asked at Mount Smart. Seagulls take on the Melbourne Storm last slot Wednesday to round off them in the league round. I'm going to go Storm 1-8. The Seagulls made a lot of our paper Seagull comments, but I think the Storm tend to win these games.
I think they got that one wrong. So firstly, don't know what a paper Seagull is. Secondly, I was saying they're paper catfish because they seem to be a whole lot better than they actually are. Just to clarify those comments, and I stand by that.
As you should, King. I back it. It's not like we were bagging them out either. Like, we weren't saying they were terrible, but
I was literally saying they look really good on paper, and they somehow took offense to that.
I feel like people would benefit from listening to what we say, not what they want us to say. But just to clarify, it is Tuesday's not Titans Eels. It's the Titans take on the Dolphins, and we just had a repeat in the second Tuesday slot game. But I'll go, my answer remains the same for both the Dolphins Titans game and the Dogs Eels game. Otherwise, Snicko, any games you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think Dogs versus Eels could be a big one. I know that the Dogs have a lot of personalities at the moment. And personally, I love the personalities in the chat, especially when they like to say things without thinking and, don't read other messages. It just adds a lot to the theatre of the SRL, and I quite enjoy it. Whereas the Eels, they have some players that aren't afraid to take a front footstep either. No team's going to back down there. You got to think the Dogs beat them 19 plus. That's where I'll be tipping. But I do think it's going to be a bit of a culture clash, which I'm very excited for.
Absolutely. And now I actually, just before I cut to Maimai, I've finally figured out why there's a repeat. Tuesday, the second game on Tuesday is the Cows taking on the Bunnies. I'm going to go Bunnies for another win. I'm going to go Bunnies one day.
Finn Manning project.
And genuinely, I don't think it's out of the realm. The Cowboys, love you monkey, they've looked hopeless. They got smoked by the Sea Eagles and only just got right with the Eels. It's not been a good end of the season for the Cows. Don't know where they go to. And I think the Bunnies, Michael Moana, Kevin Dix could prove too much. Finn Manning was good off the bench in his game with the Wires too, so I could see them going again, snagging another win and lifting themselves out of the wooden spoon conversation. But Maimai, what game are you looking forward to? No, I think the answer may be a bit obvious.
Besides our own game, which will be a very, very good clash, and I think up here in Newcastle we're slightly desperate for a victory. But however, I think I'm very much looking forward to the Tigers Warriors clash. Two teams who will be a bit sore after their losses last week, so be an interesting one.
And I think the team should be out by the time of recording, but the Wires have some interesting changes off their bench as well for that game. I think Ewan Maiava comes off the bench, which would be interesting for the vice captain. He loves tinkering with his subs, in particular Damo, so it'd be interesting how they go with the Tigers bench, or the Tigers rotation, which doesn't tend to have too much unorthodoxy in it. Mata'us, or Hikalea Tangaloa, as he's now known, as one of his work cut out for him off the bench, especially in the spine. But if that's not all, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I think that's all we have time for today. It's been a pleasure to have Maimai on board with us. Pleasure to have my good friend Snicko dropping his wisdom, dribble, who knows? Could be both. But look, we look forward to the games to come. Look forward to either eating my pie or having it. Regardless, enjoy your games, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, take care, brush your hair, and I'll see you in the next one.
I feel like a woman.